The Easiest Way is a 1931 pre-code drama starring Constance Bennett, Adolphe Menjou, Robert Montgomery, and features a very early appearance of Clark Gable. I don't think he actually even appeared in the credits, though he definitely does make an impact on the film. You definitely notice him when he's there. He's not even there with his signature mustache. Still got those big freaking big ears. Yeah, this was this is apparently, I watched this on TCM, and the introduction talked about how this is one of these this is the her re-entry into Hollywood after being married, Constance Bennett being married for a while, then that not working out, coming back to Hollywood and getting into the talkies, into sound, and this cemented her as a major star in Hollywood for in the 30s. And it's cool because early Hollywood movies, it's pre-code, so in this movie she is impoverished family, and becomes a kept woman. Becomes a woman who is exchanging her company to a rich gentleman for all the material comforts she's getting. So there's that to begin with, and there's characters in the story who are are judgmental about that, who give her a hard time. Her mother, and actually the boyfriend and then husband of her sister, who is played by Clark Gable, both definitely are, they have trouble with the morality of that. But otherwise, it's pretty much just sort of accepted as a thing that's happening. So there's that. But there's also the fact that I would say probably 80% of the films that I've watched with Constance Bennett, these 1930s pictures, they do end with the couple gets together and they kiss at the end, and it's great. But there's this other 20% of the films that are like, oh, they didn't get together. It wasn't a happy ending. The end. And it was like, wow, that's cool. It actually gives you a little bit of stakes there that like that might actually happen. And that The Easiest Way was a success, and that it cemented her as a star, I guess shows you that there was actually an appetite for that. And yeah, that is interesting. There's definitely, especially at the early parts of this, you can see that we're going to take advantage of the sexiness. There's her waking up in bed with all her blonde sisters, and everybody's in underwear. And there's a couple of scenes of like, putting on hosiery, which are, pretty hot. But and she gets to wear dresses as a kept woman. She's in all these gorgeous gowns. I can't help but think about, like, the economic times actually being reflected in a picture like this of her family is poor. A part of this is her father is a layabout who won't work. He's a longshoreman who's always got some difficulty and is only too happy to borrow money from his daughter, regardless of why she's doing it, while her mother is quite upset about that. But this was another keeper in the Constance Bennett oeuvre of movies. I can see why this is the one of the ones that launched her. She's not as much of the wild girl in this one as she'd go on to be in some of the other pre-code movies, but she's just got that kind of sweetness and just kind of directness that I just so enjoy, and she does so much pop off the screen, standing next to, yes, yet again, Clark Gable. And you can see why. I think in the TCM thing, there was, when he was doing screenshots, there were a lot of women hanging around checking him out, like he was interesting. So, right from the beginning, even before he was a star, that was there, regardless of maybe what that stardom produced as a reprehensible human being. But it's undeniably there. So yeah, and it was based on a play, 1909 play. So it's interesting where they get all this stuff. And we get stuff like there's a scene, scenes out of doors where we're actually is it what El Capitan and the Half Dome in Yosemite National Park is where they kind of have scenes of them walking, where she meets Robert Montgomery, this newspaper guy, who actually, that's one of the cool things about the thing is you think, oh, she's this kept woman, but then she meets the man she loves, and the man she loves is going to be horrified at what she'd been doing. But actually, no. At that point, his character is perfectly like, oh, yeah, no, I understand that happens. I just like it to end now. And she's like, of course it will end now. And then events of the movie unfold, and you get to see. I won't spoil it for you at home. He, it's yeah. So this was definitely one of these. It's really cool to see these movies before the code, the Hays Code comes in and clamps down on everybody. Just just kind of really cool. And just, yes, again, it's awesome to get to be taken through these movies with the kind of the safe anchor of someone like Constance Bennett, who's just such a wonderful presence in these movies. That, boy, especially in the early stages, she's just like going movie, because she is a contract player. The Hollywood studio system is just slotting her in, and she's going through lots of movies. So yeah. So I will leave that for right now. More Constance Bennett movies to come, though with a little break probably for A Midsummer Night's Dream, 1935 production, also from TCM. More videos later.